guys!
Hey guys, now in this episode we're going to take a look behind the camera and we're going to meet some of Vietnam's top international filmmakers.
From the scent of a green papaya, Mr. Trần Anh Hùng, to the rising stars of Vietnamese filmmakers.
That's right, and as well as that we're going to be trying some fantastic dishes at two great venues. One is the rooftop cafe cinema, BK6, and the other is Saigon Look Out. Now as well as that we're going to be meeting a fantastic music composer called Hà Nguyên.
Okay, so let's get going.
Let's get going.
Anh lang thang với những ký ức của ngày hôm qua. Người đã đến đâu mà sao vội trách người đi. Na 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 na.
Okay, so Nguyen, you've worked with some famous and well-known artists in Vietnam. Can you tell me a little bit about your experiences?
I work with many singers in Vietnam like Filmmaking, Trần Nghĩa, Trung Quốc Idol. He came from Vietnam Idol. I met Trung Quân by chance. He asked me for one song, and I have an old song. We are becoming friends. After that, we work in some project.
Where do you get your inspiration from? I mean, does it come to you very quickly or you write a melody? How does it come together?
My inspiration sometimes is my own story, sometimes it's naturally.
What do your parents think about your job choice? Because typically families, they want a stable job and things like that.
My grandfather and my father is musician. When I was a child, they want me to study music, but I don't like. So when I was 17, I start play guitar to impress with a girl. Yeah.
Mưa từng con phố, có nhớ bóng dáng em đi cuối thu đông về. Hè sáng vội vàng quá. Mưa từng đêm vắng, mưa ấy cứ rơi phố xa. Anh đi tìm yêu đương chiều qua.
So when did you realize that music and composing music was going to be your chosen path?
When I 18, I have a song name is Hà Nội Bicycle, and my friends want me to send this song to the Vietnamese Song Contest. I have two prizes. It's the song The Man and the young musician. So most of my song is by my emotion. When I work for a singer, I must try and make one story to write the song. Sometimes it's my friend's story or story come from a film. Sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's very interesting.
Composing, is it going to be something you stick with, or how do you see your future? What do you think?
I'm studying at the film school, and now I'm film director.
Music videos?
Music video.
Okay.
Films is my way. And music is my passion. When I stress, I usually play the guitar, write some song.
Release all that stress, get it out?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, great. Well, thank you so much, Ghiền. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Một tình yêu chưa nói, để giờ đây vụt bay theo áng mây trôi. Cất kỷ niệm sâu trong tim, nhớ mãi trường xa dần.
Còn đâu bài học cô giáo giảng, còn đâu những buổi chiều cùng lang thang, hay những lần ta bên nhau và hát, tuổi học trò đầy ắp những ước mơ. Sẽ luôn nhớ mãi những kỷ niệm đẹp rơi mãi trên cùng thầy cô và bạn bè. Nhìn qua nhìn lại giờ đã sắp sang một mùa hè, ước mong thời gian sẽ ngừng trôi để tôi bên bạn một lần cuối. Nét bút còn nguyên những trang vở như vẫn in đậm từng câu thơ, những dòng lưu bút kỷ niệm sẽ chỉ kẹp trong trang giấy trắng. Những tình cảm này xin gửi lại nơi đây dù cất tiếng hát rằng.
Here comes the
Here it
salad.
goes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic, thank you. All right, pretty interesting looking, right? It's really, really finely chopped up, right?
Yes.
On the top. Excellent.
Shall we try now?
Let's try and get stuck in that. Let's go. See if I can do that. Oh, there we go.
Thank
I'll grab
you.
some for myself as well. Now, I can see in here we've got some duck, but we've also got some artichoke as well.
Yes.
Are you a fan of artichoke?
Never tried artichoke putting in a salad like this.
Oh,
This
really?
is my first time actually.
It's good, right?
But this
What do you
is
think?
nice. Very strong taste of smoked duck. Everything combines so well together. So good.
Fantastic, right? Tasty. Well, this is obviously a great way to start the meal, but I really can't wait for the next 2 dishes. We've got a couple of mains coming next.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Let's get those ordered, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it comes.
Fantastic. Right,
Thank
so there's a
you.
roasted comfit with also roasted pumpkin. Thank you very much. What you've got here is beef short ribs.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried this before?
But not this style. I think the taste will be different this time.
Okay, so we've got my dish here, which is the roasted pumpkin underneath, a little bit of coriander on top, and we've got our duck leg. Now, should we start?
Yes,
All right,
please. The beef short rib is very soft. It tastes very nice. This is for you, Dan.
Is it for me?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
so this is a big piece.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy.
And I'll give you a little bit of mine to taste.
Thank you.
Great. We've still got one more dish coming though, right?
Oh yeah, the dessert.
And we've got some tom yam ice cream, which I believe is from Thailand.
As usual, tom yum is used for making soup or hot pot, very different.
We've also got a little, like, it's like a wafer cake or something on top as well.
Pancake, I think. Wow,
Interesting.
it's very strong
Oh yeah?
and spicy as well.
Spicy? Okay, let's give it a try.
Taste it.
That is a really interesting combination of
Yes,
flavors, right?
yes.
If you're in Saigon and you want to try something different that combines Vietnamese cuisine with some real intense fusion elements as well, make sure you come to Saigon Lookout. It's a great place and you might spot a star or two if you're lucky as well.
And make sure that you try this tom yum ice cream. It's super spicy and unique.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
What excites me about filmmaking is the film language. It's the most important thing. It's not the story, it's not a theme, but how to deal with the specific language of cinema. This is something that excites me because I think that it's the only way to touch the mind or the heart of the audience. I think it's something that you cannot really see clearly when you watch a movie, but it's something that works in a very efficient way on your emotions. And this is something that I'm looking for.
I think every people had a story to tell. We have a lot of issues with a lot of conflicting values. So I want to make film because it's the best way to share my story with other people. Making the first film, the debut, is always tough because the people don't believe in us. Like as a young filmmaker, he's good enough, he's gonna prove that he's had ability to make a feature film. I'm still trying to develop myself to be the best that I can be. So I made a short film called The Scent of Fish Sauce. I got a little bit of success for that film in film festivals, but I'm still looking and waiting for bigger success in the future. For a short film, it's like the name card to show and to prove to the producers and other investors that I have an ability to make a good film.
This is the third time I'm back to Vietnam to take care of a class with a young Vietnamese director. But I really enjoy, talking and sharing my experience with young directors because somehow I can get rid of, dust that I took on me for a while. So talking to them, sometimes you realize that something that is really important for you, after speaking out loud, what is important for you, it's not that important. So you need to find something else. So for me, meeting with them is also something very rich for myself. And of course, I'm here to talk about cinema. I don't think that I'm a teacher. I don't think that I teach them something. But it's important to exchange ideas and trying to see that we need to think straight, to have questions like what are we looking at when we are watching a movie? and then discuss about what we see on the screen. And all this is, I think, give them, this kind of feeling of enthusiasm, about movies, about filmmaking.
Actually, YouTube is creating a new and easy way to group that wants to make movies who we are ourselves interested in.
Do you have particular topics of interest?
Mostly about the hot topics every day in Vietnam, on internet, social life. We make it in the very special, hilarious way. So that's why the people here really enjoy seeing them.
Những cái video clip mà tụi mình sản xuất thì vừa có tính chất giải trí cao và cũng có những cái lời khuyên, những cái bài học ở trong đó để mọi người xem và suy ngẫm.
Khi mà đã đam mê rồi thì sẽ làm nó bất chấp. Có thể nó sẽ khó khăn, có thể nó sẽ thử thách, nhưng mà nếu mà vượt qua nó thì chắc chắn nó sẽ thành công. Cái điều mà tụi em thích thứ nhất là được thực hiện đam mê, đem tiếng cười cho mọi người. Khi mà thấy mọi người yêu thích cái chuyện đó thì đó là cái điều quan trọng nhất.
It's an honor that we're hitting lots of views in such a short time.
How would you describe your style of film?
I want to think deeply about myself. I want to make the movie about the loneliness, the youth, and the modern society. In my style, I really want to work with an amateur face. Maybe they are the student, the worker. They make me believe in the story. I want to share with the audience some face is new and we make them believe in my movie.
I started out as a documentary filmmaker. In documentaries, you can actually experience different cultures, meet different people, go to different locations that even as a tourist you don't get to go. When I was working Digipost, I mainly work in advertising. So you do TV commercial, branded content, things like that. Professional projects, but it doesn't really have a soul. One of the reasons we started the Rise was also because of the industry. We realized that social media is coming out in a big way, and as a result of that, I think people online, they actually are more open to original content. Because of this reason, drawing from my experience when I started as a documentary filmmaker, I started this channel that is focusing, and the people I use are all documentary people, filmmaking people, to create original content, for the viewers, basically. Vietnam is very open and it's quite a young population, so willing to try new things. They're willing to try fresher ideas, and it can actually be done. So that's one thing I love about Vietnam. It is very open.
This time is the first time we open for the international student, and we also have a really good cooperation with the CAFA and COVID. And we also have a directing workshop every year, which is led by Trần Anh Hùng. And for this year, we also have a student from Taiwan, from Singapore. We give the young filmmaker an opportunity to make the film one. And we also try to connect them to the internationally system.
You saw a very good movie. It gives you a lot of desire and inspirations, and it really gives you strength, And then you need to keep this emotion inside of you and have a lot of courage to write a script, and then convince a producer, and then wait for a very long time, sometime, for the finance. For the financing process is sometimes very, very long, and you have to keep the excitement of the beginning of what you wanted to make as a movie, and then let it die several times, 4 or 5 years, and later finally you can make the movie, and you really need to keep energy and the desire of the beginning. My name is Trần Anh Hùng, and you are watching Spicy Vietnam.
Spicy.
This is the owner of BK6, Mr. Lê Hồng Lam. He's the top film critic in Vietnam. He is the senior editor of a magazine for men, and he is also a TV host for Star Movies channel. Hello, Mr. Lam. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Mr. Lam, can you tell me the reason why this BK6 is open less than 1 year, but why is it so famous?
One of the reasons they love the BK6 is because the beautiful views, the reasonable price, and atmosphere of
this place.
Yeah, BK6. Yeah.
Wow. So here the drink is. Shall I give it a try?
Yeah. Okay. You should try.
What is the drink?
This is café bí đỏ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coffee with pumpkin. What a combination. I have never tried it before. It's so cool. I can taste the coffee as well as the pumpkin. They combine so well together.
Yeah. This is one of the signature coffee in BK6.
Oh, your signature.
And a lot of our guests love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what about the food?
We have 20 kind of food.
Oh.
Most of them are the Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
You should try one of them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wow, looks so yummy.
Yeah. This
So what
is
is this
the
again?
famous noodle from Buôn Ma Thuột.
Okay, so what is the difference from this dish compared?
The soup and the potato and chả riêu, and tôm. Yeah.
Yeah. The soup is very different.
Yeah.
It's sweeter because, as Lam said,
Yeah,
it was cooked
at
the night before.
Night before.
Wow. This is also the special thing of this dish. So this is crab cake. It's not only made from crab, it's also made from the shrimp. Yes?
Yeah, right.
Let me try it.
Okay.
So this is the chicken with pandan leaf. Wow, it looks so attractive. Let's give it a try.
Okay.
The chicken is covered with a very nice sauce and sesame here as well. And I can really taste the pandan flavor of this chicken. Mr. Lam, I feel so special. It's very nice of you to inviting us coming here to have good food, good drink, and being here in the super spectacular, amazing rooftop view in BK6. This is amazing.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for spicy.
It's like I reached the heaven.
Hi guys, today we're being joined by Timothy Linh Bui, a filmmaker who is behind many films in Vietnam. Hi Tim.
Pleasure to meet you, Dan.
Okay, so Tim, tell me about your path to becoming a filmmaker.
You know, I grew up in Sunnyvale, San Jose. During the time of the 80s, that's where the rise of Silicon Valley, you know? So everyone in Silicon Valley, from my parents, everyone were in the computer industry. My parents owned 5 video stores. And I started working at video stores.
Right.
And it was my first real, I think, connection with movies because I had the opportunity to watch free movies across the board, all genres across the board. The one film that kind of like at 14 I remember watching was a film called Amadeus. It was a 3-hour movie, but somehow that film spoke to me. Right. And I stayed for the whole credits. And it was the first time where I sat and looked at the credits and I'm like, wow, there is so many people that's involved in this. And my dad had a little camcorder at the time. So me, my brother, and high school mates or junior high school mates and stuff, we started making films, you know. But it wasn't even then that was where I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with the language of it. I fell in love with understanding that through images you can evoke emotion and you can tell a story in such a powerful way through images. Mm. And I just got hooked.
Sure.
Yeah. It was a very hands-on school. Mm. So you work as a cinematographer, you work as sound, you work on everyone's film. Then after film school, I reached out and I wanted to just learn and be on a big set instead of small set. So I PA'd, I interned. Right. My first PA job was one of those where it's like, wow, I'm on a big set. And there was this actor at the time, he was a big star named Lou Diamond Phillip. And on the first day of set, I was just this kind of like wide-eyed kid, you know? Yeah. And he comes up right to me, and then I see him walking towards me, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Lieutenant Phillips. He comes up to me, goes, hey, my name's Luke, can I get you some water? And I was just like, wow, I should be asking you that. This is so cool, you know? And when I see people who do their job well, people who are good at their craft,
right,
I'm inspired by that.
What do you feel it takes to become a successful filmmaker?
I think being a filmmaker, you have to be fearless. You have to take risk. And you have to be always willing to push the envelope. You got to go out there, you got to fall in love, you got to have your heart broken, you got to travel, you know, because the best storytellers in the world are the people who travel. You know, no one's going to tell a story of your whole life you living in one room. You know, you won't have that experience. You write about amazing how great these white walls are. You know, but everything else you write maybe because things you've seen on TV, but it's not from your true, honest experience.
Can you tell us about your project, The Housemate?
Sa-cát là một đồn điền để chăm sóc cho một điền trang của Pháp. Cô sẽ ở đây tạm thời. Tôi sẽ cho cô thử thách và hãy tự mình tìm hiểu kỹ nơi đây.
Is a passion project of mine over the last 2 years, and it centers around a young village girl who comes to this plantation looking for work. The film opens, everyone in the house is dead. It's bloody, the whole house is murdered, all the occupants. She's the only one that's alive. The French police officers take her in for questioning. She's retelling the story now of all the events that's happened leading up to that. And that's the journey we're on. Right. We're on her journey through her eyes as it happened. And how much of it, and there's a legend in the town that the ghost of Camille, who's the fiancé of the captain, who had committed suicide in the lake and they've never found her body, has come back to haunt because she's a jealous ghost. She's always been in love with her husband, and now there's a new woman in the house. And that's the story that we're on the journey of until the very end, the very revelation of the film that brings it all together. And that's what, when I read it, that's what excited me, because I thought, well, I haven't seen it told from this point of view before.
What improvements would you like to see in the Vietnamese film industry?
I think what I like to see is for the studios to take more risk in the stories they greenlight. It's my thing that I have on constantly with meetings here is trying to push projects is because, and I understand it's a business too, but play it too safe.
Right.
You know, I think the days where you're just giving audiences the lowbrow humor of storytelling of Vietnam is gone. And if you keep doing that, the industry is going to implode. And it's in small increments, you know, it's not one day, you know, but you have to, I think the studios should take risk. And for the creators to take the time to learn the craft. Because in Vietnam, it is this new wave of money and everyone can jump in and make a movie. And I think also for Vietnam to be strong as moving into the modern world and you know, we're here, business is growing and finance and economics, but film is part of culture.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for sharing with me and Spicy Vietnam your experiences in the Vietnamese film industry. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure chatting with you, Dan.
Thanks.
My name is Timothy Linh Bui, and you're watching Spicy Vietnam.
Coming up next time, we'll meet the hitmaker of Vietnam, Nguyễn Hải Phong. We'll also meet some music producers who are at the top of their game. For hot food, we'll be treated to a romantic dinner at La Vie en Rose and the special coffee shop called Ba Cây Chuối. Last but not least is the interview with Kathy Uyên, actress and producer of many movies in Vietnam.
Còn đâu bài học cô giàu giang, còn đâu những buổi chiều cùng lang thang, hay những lần ta bên nhau và hát, tuổi học trò đầy ắp những ước mơ. Sẽ luôn nhớ mãi những kỷ niệm đẹp, sẽ mãi chung cùng thầy cô và bạn bè. Nhìn qua nhìn lại giờ đã sắp sang một mùa hè, ước mong thời gian sẽ ngừng trôi để tôi bên bạn một lần cuối. Nét bút còn nguyên những trang vở, nhưng vẫn in đậm từng câu thơ. Những dòng lưu bút kỷ niệm sẽ chỉ kẹp trong trang giấy trắng. Nhưng tình cảm này xin gửi lại nơi đây, dù cất tiếng hát đơn giản. One more time.
Chạm vào những ký ức xưa, những ngập ngừng dư mãi.